I'm here tonight to tell you a story, and it begins with a little girl named Lauren Stanford. This sassy 6-year-old was my daughter Tessa's best friend almost since birth, and her mom, Maura, was and is mine. Tess, Lauren, and my daughter Melanie were together constantly. If Lauren was at my house, I knew both of my girls would be entertained and laughing, and everyone would be happy. When Lauren was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes at the start of kindergarten, I was absolutely stunned. I had no idea a child so young could get diabetes. I knew how serious it was, and I was anxious to support my good friends and neighbors, Maura and Sean, in any way that I could. Carpooling Lauren to dance class, play dates, and school, I began to learn a little bit about what it was like to care for a child with type 1 diabetes. When Maura and Sean built their very first walk team, we were excited to take part. Soon after that, they invited my husband and I to join them at the JDRF Gala of 1998. We had a wonderful night, and we were so excited and happy to be there for them. I could see that JDRF had become Maura's #1 support system, and I was in awe of how quickly she became involved in JDRF fundraising. 1 year later, we welcomed our third child and our only son, Jeff, to our family, and from the very beginning, JDRF was a part of Jeff's life too. We brought him to his first ever JDRF walk in his baby carriage, where Maura awarded him with her team's coveted Youngest Walker Award. He was just 3 months old. Jeff was 9 years old in the fall of 2008 when I started to notice some very familiar symptoms: tired, thirsty, losing weight. The same symptoms I'd seen in Lauren before her diagnosis. After a visit to the pediatricians, we were sent directly to Children's Hospital, and just like that, we had joined the world of type 1 diabetes. Despite knowing Lauren and already being involved in JDRF, I was not in any way prepared for my own son's diagnosis. Who could be prepared for something like this? Suddenly, I was immersed in a world of insulin, carbs, finger sticks, and constant worry. I went from being a happy supporter of my friend to having my own child with diabetes. From being a guest at this very gala just a few years back to standing before you tonight as the mom of a child with diabetes. This young man right here, I am very proud to introduce to you my son, Jeff D'Angelo.
Thanks, Mom, for the introduction, and well, for lots more than that. So that's me at 9, and when I was diagnosed, my favorite things to do were hang out with my friends and play hockey. When Mom took me to the hospital, I was confused. I didn't know what was going on, and when we got home, everything changed. I couldn't just eat snacks out of the fridge anymore. Preparing for a hockey game now required serious planning, careful eating, and painful shots. And some days I never felt good at all. Years have passed, and I've given up my skates for a lacrosse stick and shots for an insulin pump. Lacrosse games are long, and as great as the pump is, and as much as I know how to balance what I eat and how much insulin I need, sometimes I still have to go onto the sidelines to make corrections so I can play, and sometimes it takes me out of the game altogether. In school, diabetes can be a challenging classmate. I might think I've done everything right to prepare myself for the test, but just as much as I know my facts, just as I grab that pencil, diabetes decides to run an interference. As difficult as diabetes is, I don't let it stop me. Most days are good. I can tell if I'm going high or low, and my close friends are always there to help. I want to thank Lauren for being my diabetes role model and for paving the way through Plymouth North. I also want to thank JDRF for all the things they've done to make my life easier, whether it be my pump and a few more things here. Oh, I wasn't supposed to read that. Now, if I could just get people to stop asking me if the needles hurt, if I can eat whatever I'm eating, and if I can play games on my pump. That, and I would love for no other kid to have to be diagnosed with type 1.
Thank you, Jeff. I'm so proud of him. So here we are in this room. Many of you, like me, before 2008, are here to support a friend. And in your heart, you'd never fathom that this could be your child, too. We never thought it would be us, never considered that we'd be in this battle side by side with the Stanfords. I want to thank you all for listening to our story tonight. Thank you to JDRF for being our beacon of hope, for fighting for my son and Lauren, and every other child and adult living with type 1 diabetes. When Jeff was first diagnosed in the emotional days at Children's Hospital, I found myself apologizing to his endocrinologist for the tears I couldn't seem to stop. "It's okay," he said. "You are grieving his health." I have been saddened at each new diagnosis since Jeff's, thinking about another parent grieving their child's health. And yet we hear it more and more. A classmate, a neighbor, a friend, another new diagnosis. It has to stop. It has to end. And the only way we are going to do that for tonight is to raise our paddles high and fund research for a cure and a prevention. Believe me, I was once you. Tonight, I encourage you to bid so no one else ever has to join this fight. Thank you.